huge day for the podcast. Today we have Professor Jordan Peterson in studio to settle the age-old debate.
Hi.
So, Mr. Peterson, would you rather suck off one guy 10 times or 10 guys one time each?
By the time you're being asked to choose which cock to suck, you've made so many catastrophic errors that there's nothing you can do that isn't a sin.
Well, it's like a would you rather. So if you don't pick, I think they pick for you. So either way, you're sucking someone off.
Says you. And what exactly do you mean by suck off? What do you mean by rather?
I guess suck off's like to completion, and then would you rather is like you have to choose one.
And who's to say I don't suck off one guy 10 times, only to have them demand I suck off the other 10 anyways? Who's to say it stops there? What if, as a consequence of my previous mistakes, they bring in more men for me to suck off?
Well, I guess after you do the sucking, they'll let you go.
And if your life is steeped in sin, you're likely to live in circumstances like that.
Well, I guess the goal is you want to try like the least gay option.
And what's obvious about that?
Well, I don't think you'd want to choose the more gay option unless you're gay, I guess.
Don't play games. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to back me into a corner where I have no choice other than to suck off men.
Some people would make the argument that sucking off the same guy 10 times is kind of gayer because you get to know him and it becomes a relationship.
Don't be so sure.
Okay, well...
I think you should give up on that line of questioning.
Oh, wait, are you saying the choosing is the gay part? Because if you just let them choose for you, there's some deniability you didn't want to.
No, I'm saying I do everything I bloody well could so that I'm not in that situation to begin with.
What about would you rather suck off your dad or have your dad suck off you?
It's hypothetical and it's not answerable.
What about would you rather suck off one guy and nobody knows, or no guys but everyone thinks you did?
I already answered that.
No, this is like a different one.
I just didn't answer it in a manner you find acceptable.
Well, if you don't pick one, you die.
Then I guess I'll die.
The boys.
It's the Boyscast.
The lads.
It's the Boyscast.
The dudes.
Prepare yourself for Boyscast.
The bros.
It's the Boyscast.
The homies.
It's the Boyscast.
The dudes.
Experience the Boyscast.
The boys. Cast.
DP's DP's got the crazy shit.
We keep it crunked up. John Blaze.
I don't know how you don't do that more often. Everything you do should be DP's got that crazy shit for your intros.
Well,
and stuff
Dave
like that.
Chappelle came out to that as...
He's DC.
I know, but it was, I don't know if it's Chappelle show or one of his specials, but that was like the intro.
Well, it shouldn't be because he's not a DP.
Yeah, he's not a DP. I agree.
Probably hasn't even ever DP'd.
Probably.
Whereas you, DP, and you're a DP. You've
know.
been DP'd. Your name's DP.
I've been DP'd.
And you've been DP'd because when they call it...
Never been DP.
Well, in a gang, in a gang when they give them initiation, they also call that DP, which is an interesting choice. You're like, that's already taken, pal.
You're getting DP'd. You go, I just want to be in a gang.
You're like, yes,
I want to do the DP.
I don't know. No, it's when you leave a gang, I think they do it. So basically, when you leave a gang, they have to, you're allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Not like, if you're a Muslim, you can never leave.
Right.
If you're in the Bloods, I think you can leave, but they have to kick the shit out of
Beat
you.
you up for like 10 seconds or
They
something?
beat you up for 10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I joined a couple when I was in Jamaica. Wagwan.
Wagwan, big bum. Give me a head.
Buddy, when I left there, it was only Jamaica has 3 million population, by the way.
Yeah, it's small, I know.
I would have thought it was 8 million.
Yeah, I know.
If you told me it was like, China and then Jamaica, then just the cultural influence alone.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they
being-
punch above their weight for sure.
You forget all the bangers. I will say after it was, Sean Paul, Bob Marley, Toots, and then pretty big drop off after that.
Yeah. A lot of Bob Marley.
But I'll tell you one you definitely forgot about. Sinsima, who got the keys to my beamer? Hold on, what that goddamn sugar? Who the muck? Who got the keys to my truck?
Yeah.
Which is sort of, that's a little bit like Turn Red.
Sure. Yeah.
People know him there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was chatting with people.
Oh, really? Like the
we
locals?
get to chatting.
You the locals?
It's the only, I'll tell you what, Jamaica's the only place in the world, maybe some others, where you're encouraged not to learn the language.
Sure.
I was encouraged by multiple people to stop speaking Jamaican. I go, I'm being respectful.
Yeah, you're doing your full Rob Ford impersonation. They go, just relax, man.
I go, what other country in the world? People come to America, they say, learn the language. I go to Jamaica, I learn the language. I say, what a going dad, that damn girl, damn sugar.
Yeah.
And then they're like, stop speaking like that. I go, I apologize for assimilating, doing my best.
I'm just trying to assimilate.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I know.
It's mostly the white people that don't like you doing it. The Jamaicans were,
It is true.
They were carrying me out of there on a chair.
It is funny. You see like TikToks all the time where it'll be like some white guy or some black guy in like China, and he starts speaking Chinese, and they're like, it's like they saw a magic trick. They're all like, they love him so much.
Yeah.
Whereas like a Chinese person in America like starts speaking English, you go, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Don't take my job.
When a white person goes to other cultures that aren't white and then speaks in their
They're
native tongue.
amazed. They're just like, oh my God, the reverence for us.
Well, they didn't like it when I did it.
No, they don't like it.
In fact, the bartenders were...
They cut me off, which is a rare thing to happen in Jamaica.
And I'm just there. I'm like, bomba.
Bum, Raz Clat.
Yeah, the Ross Clat. Give me a drink of Ross Clat. And they didn't like it.
Yeah, I like it. You like Jamaica, though?
Buddy.
It's the best, right?
It was, first of all, we get there, probably day one, big brawl.
Where
at the hotel pool.
The hotel pool had a brawl?
I'm playing volleyball, right? So I'm playing volleyball, dominating, just spike after spike after spike. And I'm telling people, there's some people that don't take it seriously. I was like, if you're not going to rotate when we're supposed to rotate, go have another drink.
They're like, can we do co-ed? Ryan's like, fuck this shit.
Just
you want to win or you want to do co-ed?
By the way, it's 11 in the morning. The DJ is going off.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Selecta.
Yeah, he's the DJ's acting like he's at a Miami nightclub at he's at 11 at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
This guy's going off. So many sirens. Everyone was just like, shut up.
Yeah. The sirens.
Just put Bob Marley on and fucking take a break, pal. So he's going on and on, right? And then all of a sudden, I just hear screaming, "Rascal, this and that." And actually, it wasn't because there's people Americans.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a side note. It was so obvious who the Americans are. They're 4 Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Some real beasts at this fucking resort,
yeah.
my friend.
Oh, yeah.
It is so very obvious who is American and who's not. And I kept pointing it out. I go, let's play a game. Guess the American. Boom, 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 boom. Big people coming through.
Boom, boom.
Skinny guys, all skinny. You'd see jacked, muscular guy
Yeah.
with just a fucking whale.
Sure.
Big gal. Big gal.
Big dem gal.
But it's an American big damn gal.
Yeah.
So they start screaming, right? And there's a big fight. The volleyball game gets stopped.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I wasn't happy about that. I'm looking over what's going on. I start asking one of the older Jamaican ladies, I go, what's going on over here? And then she goes, anytime you see commotion like that, a girl be instigating. The women there know what's up,
they're
right?
crazy misogynist culture.
She goes, and then it turns out it was a girl.
Yeah.
So basically, there's this guy. He's probably like 30 with his girl. Old head black guy came in and I guess made a pass at the guy's girl. Young, like athletic sort of dude from America didn't like that. And then they got to fighting and it was like went off and
like
on.
throwing hands?
Throwing hands. And then the whole thing where 5 people are holding me back, he breaks through and gets in for a punch. It's ridiculous. It's like day 1 of the vacation. I'm like 4 hours in.
That actually happened at my softball game on Sunday.
Stop
Derek Drescher's the coach. You want to hear something funny? So Derek Drescher's the coach of our team. He's too injured. He had diarrhea, so he couldn't play. Sorry, Derek. And he had diarrhea really badly, so he couldn't play.
On the waivers?
But he's coaching, and we were playing like a softball tournament in Central Park. And we played pretty well. We won 2 of our first 3 games. 4th game, I'm pitching the whole day. The new umpire. Underhand, yeah, it's like slow pitch or whatever. And then the new umpire, like it's the classic like baseball thing. So I throw my first pitch, total strike. He's just like ball. And we're like, what the fuck? And so he has
He's
a
wearing
rule.
Palestine gear.
Dude, he literally, no, he's like, he was this real old head black dude from like Harlem or whatever.
Okay.
And so he just had this weird rule where he goes, if the catcher catches the ball, because there's like a strike zone, and he goes, if the catcher catches the ball, he goes, it's automatically a ball. Because he's just like, if it reaches the catcher, he's like, it has to bounce like after the plate, but before the catcher. But I throw it with a little like heat on it, like not fast, but it's a little flatter. So they're strikes, and they were getting called strikes. So anyways, he's like fucking giving me nothing. I'm like walking everybody because I can't figure it out. And then he comes up to me after the inning. He goes, hey, let me just give you a little tip. And I go, hey, I'm throwing it a little flatter. And he goes, well, if you don't want to listen to me, then you don't want to listen to me.
The fuck?
Whatever. He goes, have fun, man. And he just walks away, right? I was like, what the fuck?
I know how to pitch.
Yeah, so I was killing it the other games. I was having like 3 up, 3 down innings. And then Derek, like the next inning, Derek thinks he's like, because Derek loves baseball, so he thinks he's going to have a blow up and like fire up the team. So he's literally like, let's fucking go. Dude, this guy's 80. Like literally, I'm not even kidding you. Like he looked younger, but this guy's like 80-year-old black man. Derek's like, let's meet in the fucking parking lot. I'll kick your fucking ass.
What the hell?
And this dude's like, you think I don't know how to use these hands? And so I pull up my phone. I start filming it because I'm like, this is hilarious.
There's money to be made.
No. I start filming it because we have like a group
Trying to
chat.
get that World Star payout.
We have a group chat for our softball team, right?
course.
So then I was like, I start filming it. Derek's like fucking losing his mind. I send it to the group. Derek gets ejected, right? So he ejects Derek. Derek has to go, and he's like, if you don't leave in 2 minutes, he's like, you guys forfeit. So then Derek had to just go sit like in right field and
Like a creep.
Like a creep, and just watch the game from like another diamond, basically, because that was like as far as he could, or as close as he could be. So anyways, then this other comic, because it's all comics we play with, posted it on TikTok. It goes like semi-viral,
right?
And then Derek gets an email from the league commissioner being like, I've come across your video, Derek. Care to explain? So Derek's like banned from the league now.
The internet will get you, man.
I know, and we were like, yo, you were supposed to post that. Like, that was just for us.
Who posted it?
This guy Clyde. But Clyde said, he's like, Derek said I could post it.
Right.
But Derek's like, I never said that. And
That's so funny, men's softball blowouts.
yeah, like, dude, he was losing his fucking mind.
Well, that was this. The fights were going off, man. There was that. I saw a lesbian fight at the airport.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, two
Those are
lesbians
rare.
going at it, and
Those
they
are
had
rare.
kids, right? I don't know. You don't know if it was one of their actual kids. Then she went lesbo, or they, you know,
Right.
the kids were acquired.
Yeah, the kids were acquired.
The kids may have been
Acquisitions.
acquired.
The sperm was acquired.
The sperm may have been acquired. I don't really know what shook down.
Pretty easy to acquire sperm.
But it was essentially like the one lady wanted them to go get Domino's.
Okay.
And the other lady
Yeah,
wanted
you know, when in
Wendy's.
Jamaica, let's get some Domino's.
It's at the airport.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have a ton of Jamaican stuff at the airport.
I mean, they literally have Jamaican restaurants at the fucking Newark airport.
I'll tell you one thing. So I was liking the Jamaican stuff. I ate curry goat every day or whatever.
Yeah.
It was honestly the first time I've been to a foreign place and actually liked the food.
Sure.
And then, but the beef patties, they need to come to America to learn how to make a beef patty.
Really?
Yeah, these guys don't know how to make a beef patty.
You must have gone to the wrong place because
I don't know if they've ever been to a grocery store and just bought beef patties and put them in a thing, but it's like...
Can you just toast this?
No,
one, please?
and I was talking to some other people, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, me get to talking, right?
Me get to talking.
By the way, I was like, I'm walking around drunk, chatting with everybody.
Yeah, of course.
4 different black people said, this guy's invited to the cookout. And it's their big like a compliment.
Yeah.
And I actually brought this up at one point. I go, I don't know why you think it's a compliment that I'd want to go to your family I don't know's barbecue.
Sure.
It's like they're
it's cultural.
Yeah, I seen all the gingers when they're doing the ginger stuff. All the gingers were saying like, I'm invited to the cookout, and you're just like, that's not fun to go to some.
You just make small talk with some random dude. It's
Just
like-
some random. You
do
want to go to
you do?
your
He's like,
family gatherings, let alone a family gathering, people you never even met before.
Yeah, you just have to make it. What do you do? It's like I work in like HR at Citibank.
yeah, you're just like it's such an honor to be at someone else's family barbecue. So anyway,
It's only an honor if you're white because they think they're like, we're bringing you into the fold. You're gonna see
what fold? I'm just standing there.
Yeah, you're just standing there, just having a fucking red stripe.
Are these vegan?
That's so weird because the patties when I went were like insanely good.
Not these, and I got the answer as to why. Because apparently back in the day, Jamaican patties and most foods like that, stews and stuff like that, the reason for them is to stretch the meat, right? So
Yeah.
you don't have that much meat, so you're like, this is how you stretch a little bit of meat into a meal, right? And they have some word for it. However, so now they still kind of honor that tradition by not putting that much meat in them. And they're just like, yeah, we're making it the traditional way. Barely any meat.
Oh, see, I don't really remember them being particularly meaty ever.
Well, it's a delicacy in America, but over there, they think it's a throwback food where they're just like, we put 2 grains of beef in this thing. It's just an empty patty.
Oh, that's not good.
It wasn't for me, man. That was the only negative part. The jerk chicken, jerk goat, roti. Forget
man.
about it. Forget about it.
There's incredible.
Yeah. But the lesbian fight was pretty funny.
See the people
big
like
brawl was
in
pretty
the,
funny.
did you see the people like hanging out and the drug dealers hanging out in the ocean? Did you have that?
I had
Or selling lobster in the ocean?
The ocean. Try the airport.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone set up their drug operation at JFK?
I know. The moment you get off the plane, they're like, "You want to buy weed?"
And then I had a lot of people coming up to me being like, I thought more people would ask me for weed. I'm like, I had 4 today. The lifeguard, someone's drowning in the pool. The guy's like, oh, you need a smoke, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Every single person. I got asked for weed every minute.
Yeah. That's a big industry there.
Oh, yeah.
The weed stinks. Too.
But I just thought it was crazy that it happened at the airport.
I know. It is really funny though. The Jamaicans, they're like, yeah, our culture is like smoking weed. You go, you have the worst weed on the planet.
Right.
Like you literally have
Well,
the
that's why
worst
they can
weed
smoke so much of it.
I know, but you're just like, they're all about like our weed, and you go, you have the worst weed on earth.
No, they just have a culture where you can do it at work.
Yeah, for sure, all the time. It's just like I've never seen worse weed in my life.
Well, everyone was asking me, from the lifeguards to the
Everybody.
The slow pace was getting to me. I got used to it after a couple days, but the first day I got there,
Yeah.
it was just like the pace that these people move at was fucking driving me
Were you
crazy.
trying to sell them on the grind set, Sigma grind set?
I actually.
He goes, do you know about Andrew Tate?
I'm 30 seconds into the resort just yelling at the guy, like, you need to have a hustle mindset. This beta shit. Well, the guy, they go, I'll take your bag for you. I gotta take my own bag to the room. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, man, we take the bag. That's part of the thing. And
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
then I waited in my room for 25 minutes for the
Sure.
bag. I storm back out there. I go, can I just take my own bag? And they go, the guy's en route. I go, it's a 20-second walk.
Yeah.
I was like, he takes a long, it's a scenic route. I first get there, I'm sitting in the hotel, just be like, couldn't get my bag for 20 minutes because this guy's taking his time. But then I got used to the pacing a little bit.
Yeah, everything's a little
But
slow.
coming from New York, it was just like,
Oh,
speed it up,
the
pal.
antithesis. It's the exact opposite.
I was like, don't you have a morning routine to get you in the fucking mindset?
Where's the Saratoga?
Yeah, so that was the one thing, is they move a little slow for my New York pacing.
yeah, there's...
But other than that, the Americans were fat. Food was pretty good. The last thing about the vacations, just in general, that's always funny, is you kind of like, people are day drinking, right? So you kind of make friends with people that, like, the amount of it is so funny that you just like hit it off with a guy in the pool that you met for 5 minutes and tells you every secret in his life.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, you'll meet a guy he's like, it's me, this 60-year-old Trini guy, right? Trinidadian guy, 60 years old. He's telling me about how he puts his money in fucking, offshore accounts so his wife can't get it when they divorce. I'm just like, I could ruin your life.
Yeah, for sure.
The trust that people put in
You got a
strangers.
trustworthy face.
No, I think when you get in the resort mindset, you think that
Right.
no one. But like, people are telling you, just like, obviously, you got the wife, you got this one on the side. She don't know that, but I'm just like, wild fucking admissions.
It's like, no, you
here.
tell me your secrets. You go, I don't really have any secrets.
Yeah, nice try, pal.
Yeah, I don't really have
Who do you
any-
work for?
Yeah, I don't really.
Guy was telling me how to get money in offshore accounts.
Yeah.
Says Switzerland still's the best.
Switzerland's still the best.
Which is so funny.
Yeah, when I was in Anguilla, that was their whole thing, because they used to be like crazy hub of money laundering. Like, they were like, the guy was telling me, like, there's this family who, like, I think there's this like really known white family in Anguilla who they robbed like a bank somewhere, and then and I guess Anguilla like didn't have like extradition. Or whatever. So like in the 70s, they like robbed some bank at, like, I want to say in like Europe or something, but they made it over to Anguilla, and they can never leave essentially because they'll get arrested. But so they like stay there, and they're just like the richest
Filthy
family.
rich.
And then Anguilla was like had all the numbered bank accounts like offshore, like Cayman Islands,
yeah.
but then they cracked down and all that stuff, and so they don't have it anymore.
This guy says Swiss, you're still cooking.
Interesting.
And the islands. I think there's the Virgin Islands. Or maybe, no, that wouldn't work. But there's a few islands.
But they cracked down on like you used to literally be able
Well,
to.
the correct question is, how do you get it out? So I think what happens is you
You used to be able to. Well, that's the thing. You used to be able to just like pack a duffel bag pre.
No, but how do you take that out of your bank account? Because on your taxes, it's like, okay, why did this guy take out $200,000?
Oh well, and
the divorce lawyers is really who you're worrying about, right? The divorce lawyers is like, okay, well, you took out $3 million out of your bank account over the last 4 years. Where's that?
It's not your bank account though. That's what the beauty of it used to be, is you literally showed up no ID with just like a bag of
How
cash.
do you get the bag of cash?
Well, you get your bag of cash from illicit activities. You hop on a plane.
No, but these people aren't illicit activities.
No, I'm not saying for. I don't know how other people.
Yes, you're saying how drug dealers wash their money.
Yeah. This is.
I'm saying a normal guy
Sure.
that is shielding money in the case of
Yeah.
divorce.
Well, I guess what you do is you wire it
Is in this specific guy's case.
Yeah, in this specific guy's case, you wire it into this account that you open.
I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do them like that.
don't
but-
do them dirty like that. It's Reginald. But you wire it in, and then that account in the Cayman Islands or whatever, Anguilla, doesn't have a name associated with it. It's just a purely numbered account. Like, you just show up and they just you don't give them ID. It's just a number. So then you start moving money around, and then you're paying taxes on it. But the point is, like, I guess it doesn't make sense if you're trying to avoid taxes.
No, this is trying to avoid. You're like, I'm about to get divorced. Probably in the next 2 years, I get divorced. I'm splitting up half my assets.
Right.
How do I make a quarter of my
Yeah,
assets
that I don't know.
disappear?
That I don't
It's
know.
offshore.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, and then you're not listening because
sure
he
there's-
told me. I'm trying to tell you.
Car wash.
I'm trying to tell you.
nightclub.
You need to take it out bit by bit.
Yeah.
And then you get it over there.
Yeah. Or you start just sending it directly there.
No, you got to have a guy here that sends it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
So
like
you got to have a couple guys. It's a highfalutin operation.
It's tough business.
Anyways, Danny's going to be in Calgary. I'm going to be in San
I'm going to be in
Diego.
Calgary next weekend, June 5th to 7th. Tickets at DannyComedy.com.
If you want to go pop on over right now, pause the podcast,
Pop it up.
RyanLongComedy.com, La Jolla, San Diego, La Jolla, San Diego. Grab the tickets.
You'll be
That's
happy to
gonna be a
learn,
banger.
actually, Ryan, that 2 of the New Orleans or Louisiana convicts are still on the loose.
I've seen that.
I think they might be on the east coast of Canada on their skateboards.
They actually might be. That's the thing.
They might have made it up there.
You know, we had another thing from the podcast that came true. Is so basically, in Perth, they have the Perth Bears, and they said, why a club set up for burly, hairy men sent an urgent message to supporters on the NRL's newest team, and this is the message they had to pop up, and it
The
said,
rugby league.
please do not sign up for membership. You are here for the Perth Bears Rugby Club. So they actually,
No gay shit, Perth Bear Rugby Club.
I don't know where our Houston Bears shirt went, but basically, yeah, there's a big debacle going on between the rugby club and the Bears,
Sure.
where people are showing up with their fucking jersey and
Because
their
there's
foam
already
finger.
a Perth Bears.
And they're like, oh, this guy's means business. He wants to put the foam finger in my ass.
Sure. And you probably, the biggest hint would have been when you go to register the website and you go, Perth Bears is already taken. I don't know what that's about. We should check out that website.
Yeah, so they have a big problem
Yeah,
right
they have
there.
a literal problem where there's...
And that was a prediction from the cast.
Yeah, where it's an actual mix-up where the gays are showing up to watch rugby.
There is sometimes on the podcast where we have to get a little serious, and now is one of those times because some of you may have seen that Brigitte Macron has been abusing her husband. He's in an abusive relationship. It's not a joke to me. It's not a joke to Danny.
No, nothing funny about
Even
it.
when and you know, it shows that as a man, even when you're the president of a country, you are not safe for a woman's abuse.
No.
And by the way, pattern of abuse. She was his school teacher, treats him as such.
Yeah,
brings
reverse
him in.
elder abuse.
Probably the ruler on the hand because
Oh,
she's
she makes him
old
cut
school.
a switch.
What's cutting a switch?
Oh, it's when it's like an old school thing where you have to go cut a branch to get beaten with.
Oh, do you think Macron has to do that?
Yeah.
She pelts him with macaroons.
Macaroons, yeah. She's like, go cut a switch.
I think that
Beats him with it.
and he's trying to say, like it was just a joke. That's a thing we do. It's like, no, we had to leave that party on time. It's like this is a fun thing that we like to do.
Sure. Oh, I fell down the stairs.
Multiple times, yeah.
You sure are clumsy.
Did you see the video?
I saw the video, yeah.
Buddy, you ever had anything like that out in public? Face palm like that?
Facepalm, yeah.
Double face palm.
I mean, it is crazy because they know how, like, much they're photographed and videotaped, right? Like, it's not like a regular person. You're like, nobody's seeing this or whatever.
We're
You're
out in
like,
public about to do a press
you're
conference.
about to get off French Air Force One or whatever their
Yeah.
equivalent is, and you're like, she's doing that. And then you can't really give her a stern talking to because
She's
she
twice
doesn't-
your
she-
age, man. She's your elder.
she doesn't respond to stuff like that, clearly.
That used to be the big joke back in the day that Bill Clinton was getting beat by Hillary. Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
He used to do all those sketches
They
about
had
Bill
on
Clinton having the black
man.
eye.
They had the cops on SNL where he showed up and he was like, he had a fucking steak on his eye. He beat the shit out of him.
In the Hillary Clinton documentary, or the movie that's sort of like supposed to be a documentary, they do paint a bit of a picture that after the Monica Lewinsky scandal, that Bill was on the fucking doghouse in a way that you wouldn't believe.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, he probably had to do some of those murders himself.
He had
Get his
to-
hands dirty.
He had to ask if he wanted food, everything.
I don't want to do these myself.
Bill, then maybe you should have thought that before you kept it. You should have kept it in the pants if you didn't want to fucking. Now you got to keep the gun. Now do not keeping the gun in the
You
pants.
just giving me a hammer? That's not...
Yeah. You work your way back up to the silencer. So figure it out, Billy.
Sure.
But yeah, Emmanuel Macron, he says the video was just them joking around, so a lot of victims will say that.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing is the French do have this, like... plausible deniability because they're like, we're French, we do all these things are so weird, kids drink and we take our tops off.
I guess, but they never really have a violence culture. I guess they have their militaries back in the day that
Yeah,
fought every now and then. They like their revolutions.
They do like the revolutions, but yeah, I don't know. He probably had to give her a fucking stern little talking to. He's like,
I don't think he does, man. I think he's dead afraid of her.
probably, yeah. He's like, you don't think he's like, yo, this is fucking embarrassing.
Or maybe
he's
she's
like,
just
this is embarrassing for
how about this?
both of us.
And,
right now.
okay, fine. You don't want to go public about how I'm beating you? I'll just go public about how I am transgender. Fucking then see how that's going to look on you, pal. You've been lying to the French people. I know all your secrets. You can't do shit.
Yeah.
I got your fucking nuts in a vice because you got my nuts in your mouth.
Ugh.
She's definitely not beating the allegations of being
No, being a man. I mean, the fact that she was able to fully facepalm his entire hand, like fucking Shaq holding a basketball, you go, oh, not the best.
Candace Owens must have been loving that, man.
Candace Owens fucking
She must have been having a
cranked one.
field day.
She's in her lair being like, "Mwah."
He definitely says. I mean, imagine in America that you saw.
I mean, it would be
Trump's wife.
Oh, it would be the biggest scandal in the world if fucking you saw Melania's hand.
Fucking just face palming Trump. You'd never live that down.
Never. And his hair is all fucking weird and ruffled.
He comes up. He's got the full toupee all over the place.
It's all wacky, and he's just like
he's got a big orange like face palm like print.
Sure.
Her hand's just so orange.
Yeah, she's waving with his most orange hand to everybody. It's like
you would never hear the end of that if Trump got face palmed by Melania.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look. It's not presidential, that's for sure.
Definitely. I told you.
Act like you've been here, fucking Brigitte.
If play fighting with chicks, I feel like the only I told you this before, but the only move is the figure four. That's the only move you put them in, because then it's them hurting themselves.
Yeah. Plus, play fighting with chicks always goes wrong.
You don't want to put them in the lion tamer.
No. Definitely.
Lion tamer is the same thing, but it's a little harsher.
Stone Cold Stunner's all right.
Sometimes, every now and then, I probably maybe a pedigree.
People's elbow on the bed is all right.
People's elbow on the bed's money.
Yeah.
Put a pillow down if you really want to.
Pillow down, or if you can time it right, where it's like you don't actually.
But the trick is, they usually once you start, then they usually are going buck wild. So you just need to keep them in a position where they can't move.
Yeah.
Pedigree. I don't think pedigree actually would even be that good though. Because they'd probably start like kneeing you and kicking you and stuff like that.
You're
figure four is the best because you're not near them.
Figure four is figure
that
four
is the ultimate.
Figure four is like a proper restraint.
It's a
that is a proper if you want to restrain someone.
And you only need to put a tiny bit of pressure on them.
That one really
but I think she puts him in the figure four. That's what I'm saying. I think Macron comes home and he's in the figure four.
She's stepping on his balls.
I was looking into him, 47, 72. And when they first met, there was a mother's intuition.
He's only 47?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was older than that.
No, he's a young buck.
He's a young buck.
He's supposed to be some like virtuoso guy, but some people say that that's a made up story.
Interesting.
His parents also allegedly told Brigitte to stay away from their son until he was 18, to which she replied, I cannot promise you anything.
Pretty normal request.
She says you can't promise you anything.
Literally,
that's what the mother says.
This is America. She'd just be another teacher in jail for fucking her student. But
100%.
That's what I'm saying. In France, they do shit different.
I guess, but maybe nowadays you'd get a little more heat. But
I guess.
Yeah, she would be like the classics teacher in New Jersey.
New York, on New York Post, you're just reading about it. Fucked her fucking 14-year-old student.
Exactly.
10 years in jail.
And he'd be a victim.
Yeah, he'd be a victim. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he is a victim.
I cannot promise you anything. That's what she said to this mom, apparently. She couldn't resist him.
She can't resist him.
And then he has some other accusations, too. Macron pointed out that he had recently been falsely accused of doing cocaine with fellow European leaders.
Yeah, I don't believe
and having a physical altercation with Turkey's recap.
It looked like it was a handkerchief. I saw Alex Jones was like, that is clearly a bag of coke. And you're like, no, like, just be logical about this. He didn't have like a fucking whole press thing set up. And then he just had like a fucking 8-ball on the table accidentally. Like, come on. And then they're like, oh, we blew it up, and it's like, it's clearly a bag of coke. It's just like, it's a handkerchief. That's the thing. He's like embarrassed about having a handkerchief, like a used handkerchief on the table.
So maybe that didn't happen, but what he did have was getting face palmed for sure. He's being abused.
I mean, my eyes do not deceive me. I saw
what I saw. Man, you're not going to convince me that one's a joke.
Yeah.
If you saw your buddy doing that at a bar, and he was like, oh, you're just joking around, you'd be like, no.
I
have eyes.
Yeah, I have eyes.
I saw what happened there.
Yeah, you're not joking.
What'd you do?
Yeah, what'd you do? And how often does she do this?
I remember wondering.
And are you okay?
Do you think Macron got caught like looking at some young sniz, like some strange? Because he must be. I mean, 72, you can't love smashing.
No, and probably like those stewardesses on that French Air Force One are probably pretty rocking.
Well, I'm thinking that might be the problem. Is he requested a rockin' one and he started firing the uggos, and she goes, "Why is that beast not here?" And he's like,
Yes, I don't know. She had some personal things, so we got the fucking.
She was a little too beat for me.
The 10s showed up.
The eyes want what the eyes want.
The eyes want what the eyes want.
But by the way, it is, if you think of like the Bill Belichick situation, it is a similar kind of age gap, right? Macron does skirt on it a little bit.
Well, Bill Belichick's an extra 20.
Yeah, I guess. But the age gaps are different when they met older, right?
Yeah,
you have to clock the age gap at what they met. Because if Bill Belichick lived to 100 and his wife was 120, all of a sudden it wouldn't be weird anymore.
I mean, look, if fucking Trump came out that Trump met Melania when she was 13, like we would be like, this is not acceptable.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. This disqualifies you from office and all sorts of shit.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's just wild, but it's just there and
But
it is
the
what it is.
French, they just do things a little more.
It could only happen in French, I think.
Yeah, they're the only ones who can pull this off. They go, we're drinking when we're 13, we're fucking, it's...
Grass on day field, they play ball.
It's grass on the pitch.
Cheese on the poutine. When there's gravy on the fries, we say it's go time.
Yeah, it's...
Fellas, we got a new sponsor to tell you about. If you ever wondered why your brain feels foggy, even when you're eating clean and exercising, it might not be burnout. It might be parasites. Groundbreaking research from Dr. Alan McDonald revealed a direct link between chronic parasitic infections and neurological diseases like multiple sclerosis. Parasitic infections can cause inflammation, nerve damage, and long-term cognitive decline. More reason to do a full body cleanse at least once a year. The Wellness Company has a solution for you, and that is ivermectin plus mebendazole, the gold standard parasitic solution. Now combined in one cleanse combo designed to eliminate harmful invaders and support your immune system naturally. Medical grade, not some trendy herbal gimmicks. So fill out a quick intake form, get a 3-month supply shipped straight to your door. So the Wellness Company is making hard to get medication digitally accessible so you can live your best life. So head to twc.health/boyscast. Use the code boyscast for $60 off plus free shipping on all orders. Cleanse your body today. Fellas, just a reminder, you've been listening to the podcast, you gave us a 5-star review. Maybe you subscribed on YouTube, but we do an extra bonus episode every week at patreon.com/theboyscast. Bonus episode, 2 Bugman versus Bugman, half-hour reality show competition that me and Danny are due.
Hot dogs, furniture.
We're getting close to our next one as well. Patreon.com/theboyscast. Every week, new episode. And if you want to catch me and Danny on tour, I want to be in San Diego, Tulsa, and Appleton, Columbus this summer. And that is RyanLongComedy.com. San Diego's June 20th to 22.
And I'll be in Calgary, Alberta next week, June 5th to 7th. DannyComedy.com for tickets.
Let's get back into the show. Did you watch the full Peterson on Jubilee?
I saw like half of it.
It wasn't the most interesting thing in the world to watch.
I was like, I just saw it. There's enough of this.
I was enjoying it. It's pretty funny, dude. Jubilee has, there is something to be said about like Jubilee, Pierce Morgan, all this stuff where they just have the, all the crazy debates.
Yeah.
It does show that the mainstream has lost control and it's back to like, who are people paying attention to? Let's get them in here.
Yeah.
Like it shows that the mainstream has lost control. And there was an old saying that says those who control the margins often control the center.
Sure.
And it really has been where it's like, people with the
Wide
right
open-
opinions,
wide
but no
open
one
right
cares,
now.
don't really get on those shows.
No.
Right? It's back to, who do people care about? Let's put them on things.
Sure. Yeah. It's wide open playing field right now.
They actually asked me to do one.
A Jubilee?
Yeah. 10 Muslims versus 1 man drawing Muhammad. And I'm just there with a pen. And they go, don't do it.
Don't do it.
And I just draw a little bit more every time.
Can you hand me my red marker, please?
I think they, yeah. How about this one? Jordan Peterson debates 100 women who won't clean their rooms.
Oh, I like that.
He could have done that.
Yeah.
My one that I always thought would be funny was OnlyFans star debates her dad and his friends. That's what I was thinking. I might make that.
That's a good one.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just like, please, just stop.
Please. It's like you don't even make that much money. I can give you the equivalent money to stop.
I'll give you the $100 we pulled together. The money.
Because I don't need your money.
I don't need your money.
The patriarchy would say that.
Yeah, you do need it. That was one I was thinking. 10 men who bust quickly versus 1 woman who likes long sex sessions. 1 tantric sex woman.
Sure. Yeah,
Sting's ex-girlfriend. 10 women who bust quick. 10 men who bust quick versus Sting's ex-girlfriend. 1 child versus 100
pedophiles. What's the debate specifically?
The pedophiles are just there trying to giving it a shot.
Yeah, sure. It's like, what are you into? What kind of stuff do you like? God.
But the biggest thing was the whole debate. So Jordan Peterson went on Jubilee, and it was one Christian versus all these atheists.
It's weird because he said he's like, they're like, are you a Christian?
Well, that's the weird part. Then they changed the title after.
Yeah, he's like, he said he's not a Christian.
But I don't get why he says he's not a Christian.
Neither do I. That's like where I'm like, I was so lost.
It's like, aren't you a Christian?
Isn't that like you've been your whole thing for the last 8 years?
But I guess he doesn't want. For some reason, he doesn't want to say it.
He just doesn't want to. He just be like, it's personal.
That's what he said. He goes, it's personal. You go, maybe not on a debate about whether you're a Christian, whether Christianity's
that's
right.
the premise of the debate.
Because wouldn't that one fact be like your whole argument's wrong? Because he goes, you know, Christianity's true, and you go, so why don't you believe it? He goes, I can't tell you whether I believe it or not. I mean, it really was like a guy.
He was like filibustering a bit.
Yeah. So, but like you feel like that argument would be the whole thing. You go, well, if it's true, why wouldn't you want to say you are one? And then he's like. That would be the whole debate. That'd be the only thing you'd say.
Yeah, and he talked about the merits of being a Christian and versus...
It'd be like if a guy was there...
Atheists are wrong.
Debating why, like, relationships are the most important thing in the world. And then you're like, well, are you and your girl, like, official yet? And he was like, I don't know. Who knows?
No,
can't put a label on everything.
Not your business. I mean, really, it's not my business. It's like, you're trying to be
Are you guys Facebook official? You can't, who the fuck knows, man? You know how those things go.
Yeah, but you're like, you're taking the side of the argument.
You're telling me that I got to put a ring on it. Have you put a ring on it? You go, have I put a ring on it?
I mean, that's not really...
It's not none of your business whether I put a ring on it. Don't ask her either.
I don't keep my personal life public, okay? You go, what?
Yeah, so so the whole thing was kind of weird because he's debating Christian and
he said he's Christian. Like, that's the thing. It was like, he said a million times he's Christian.
I guess he hasn't.
He does lectures about the Bible.
He says that he hasn't.
What?
I think his whole thing is he just loves the Bible.
He just loves the Bible, and he's like, it's like a Muslim, bucko. Just like the Bible.
It's like your friends who love Buddhism. Like, they love it, but if you actually said they're a Buddhist, they go, oh, maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
Yeah, you go, I just like it.
yeah.
What?
I've no idea, dude. I was just as confused as you were watching it. I go, I thought you were a Christian. And he goes, you said that. I never claimed to be that. And you go, I guess he didn't. Yeah. But I was like,
I feel like he has.
To some degree, you go, maybe if you gave 40 lectures about it, and then you have a whole YouTube channel about being a Christian, you go, am I crazy to assume?
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, I feel like I'm getting gaslit right now because I feel like he has.
I've been sort of saying that women should have
never. Is this like Mandela effect shit where you go back? I'm telling you, he never said it, and you go, I swear he said it.
It's the Shazam.
Shazam, yeah. I'm like, I swear he said he's Christian.
The very least.
Once. One time.
I think that is gaslighting. That's what I said. But I was saying that girls should have never taught men the word gaslighting because women had a good like 6 months where they were saying your guys were gaslighting them. Yeah. And then I feel like men picked up and realized that they actually do the gaslighting. Now it's like, I say it once a week.
Yeah.
It's like
a reverse card.
It'll be like, it's burning hot in here. And I'll be like, no, it's not. And you're like, then you look at the temperature, 68. So you're fucking 78. So you're like, yeah, so you're gaslighting me. It was actually hot.
Yep. Yeah. Chicks don't like it when you throw it.
We watched this movie already. No, we didn't. Being gaslit.
Being gaslit. I know
what I've watched.
Yeah. It's a good little tactic.
No, the Christian thing, I did not get it.
And I don't know if he was trying to get super in the weeds, like where he's like, that's not even important for the debate. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know.
It kind of reminded me of like high school debates that I used to have.
Yeah.
Like a little bit. Do you not remember being like 15 and having like atheist? You were an edgy atheist kid, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I'd say I was. It's not that I was necessarily tied up in being an edgy atheist kid, except for I had a couple friends that were claimed to be Christian, and it bothered me because they weren't.
9 years in the Jewish clink, and you tell me you don't come out an atheist?
Clink.
I did hard time, man.
I had one buddy that I knew pretty well that was exactly like all of us, and then one day he started trying to claim that he was Christian, and we're like, "You're not, though."
Yeah. Well, I guess that's how it works, though. Is eventually you see it a little. Like the older you get, you definitely do see that more.
Well, older, fine.
Yeah.
This guy, no, he was trying. This is the difference, though. It's not that if I knew someone that was, I probably knew people that were Christian. Like I knew black guys that were like raised in the church and they were Christian, and it was like I bought it.
Yeah.
My argument probably was less about like whether Christianity's right as much as you're lying.
Sure.
Like this is no. You know when when Larry David said this is a look you're cultivating to be fashionable.
Yeah.
No. This is an image you're cultivating to be interesting.
Sure. I mean, my first question is someone goes, "I'm Christian now." The first question is, what happened? because usually it's like something happened in their life.
And no, because in America, I feel in America more, they go, everyone around me is Christian. My family's Christian. It's like,
Right. But a lot of times when people come to it, you're like there's like some event that happened that's generally like.
if someone grew up like in a secular, the right word?
Yeah.
Secular
They were
area.
Christian and they left and kind of came back. That happens a lot.
But if you see it where it was like no Christians, no Christians in my life, I never met one. My school, no one was that, and then I came in. You go, sometimes that's something happened.
Yeah.
But I remember probably the big atheist high school debates is you're just like, well, why if God's real, then why are you more likely to go to heaven because you're born in the right place?
Sure.
That'd be a big
There's a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is.
Well, they have answers to all of them, and the debate goes on
here's
forever.
the thing. If you can believe in religion, it is a total life hack. If you can kind of just take it in and just be like, this is it.
What?
You just like that's what it is. You're like Jesus or whatever, Muhammad or whatever is like that's the Lord, and this book is the fucking
You're saying it's a life hack.
Oh, absolutely.
Solves all your problems.
Solves every problem, because every time something bad happens, you just go, yeah, this is his will.
I know.
Right? It's like it's the ultimate like kind of cope for like anything bad happening. Like, because if you're atheist, bad shit happens. And
It's the equivalent
You go,
of-
what? This is all random shit happening, and it's just like I'm just unlucky, and then like I'm just the fucking unluckiest guy in the world, and you go, no, this is all
this
part
is
of the
part
plan.
of the plan.
And you go, oh, that's nice.
I'm nailing it then.
And you're fucking.
You're actually getting tested right now. You go, I love a test.
Dude, your kid dies. He goes, he's in a better place. Like this is the Lord's.
Well, Stoicism is the secular man's secular man's religion, right?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, where it's just like, who cares?
You're being tested. How can Danny not cry at his mother's funeral, even though she was tortured to death by him? I told you on my one golf swing thing. That was the other thing that fucked me up when I was 8 years old.
What?
I was playing golf and I kept cheating, and then I said to God, I said, if I'm cheating, if you don't want me cheating, give me a bad stroke this time.
Yeah.
And then I fucking did the swing, and my golf club went flying in the air.
Really?
So God was fucking with me up right there.
God was didn't have much on the docket that day.
I was definitely afraid to
He
swear.
was at the public course in Ajax watching Ryan fucking hack it up.
Halliburton.
Halliburton, Ontario, watching Ryan just absolutely hack it up.
No, he was forcing me to hack it up because I kept cheating and I taunted him, and then he goes, okay, I'll give you a bad shot. Made my fucking golf club go flying.
Hits this guy in the head, gives him a concussion. He goes, that was God's will too.
I'll tell
All
you-
in the plan. All in the plan, man.
I was definitely afraid to lie to swear to God for years after that.
Oh, really?
That was a life hack. The kid that figured out you could just lie and swear to God, because that used to be bond for a bit. Was that a bond in your school?
No, dude. We were like, me and my friends were like, I went to Hebrew school. It was like, we were literally like the biggest pieces of shit. Like we'd have our like
Nice.
Torah classes, and like we were just, because we were all like watching like George Carlin and stuff. So then we would literally be like, this is all made up bullshit, and they'd be like, you can't say that. You're like 10. You're like, just pretend, and we're like, we can't. And they were like, it was a whole thing.
I guess most like Jewish people in North America end up sort of secular.
Oh yeah, the majority for sure.
I was trying to think what the most annoying religion is. Probably the online, because they're and I'm not saying that you're average, but like I was watching like the people that have like Muslim fans, they get shit for everything.
Hey man, I have tons of Muslim fans now. By the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, they're gonna keep calling you
they're
around.
pouring in.
Did you get caught like holding hands with a girl, and they're like, "This is blasphemy," this and that.
Yeah.
Some people, the Muslims get real shit. Like, you must repent. You say, "Oh, you said the Lord's name wrong." Like they're fucking getting. They get nitpicked like a fucking, like a super progressive circles.
Yeah. I mean, they
get real nitpicked.
They like their procedure. You're like, oh, okay, I wasn't facing Mecca exactly.
Yeah, religious Jews are annoying, I guess.
Oh yeah. Are they?
Like the rabbis who, are like actually about that life.
Oh yeah, dude. It is crazy. They all just walk around with their fucking. I see them all the time in New York. They all just walk around with their books,
Really?
just carrying their books.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of people walking around with the Bible.
No, you don't see a lot
It's
of
like
people. I
fucking
did
Pinocchio
actually
with it on a strap.
the other night, actually, on Tuesday night. I did see this guy, and he was wearing. He must have been like, I don't know what but he was wearing some shirt that was like church related, and he was younger too.
Novelty church shirts?
No, it was not a novelty church shirt. It was like some sort of like Lord affirmation thing, and he was just walking around with a Bible in the
Are you
subway.
sure it wasn't
But then he
wrestling? Austin 316?
No, but then he hopped the turnstile, and then I was like, how does that square? Like, does God want you not paying for
God's plan, dude.
Is God's plan for you to fucking hop the turnstile? I honestly was like,
God wanted him to get in that subway.
Yeah, God wanted him in that subway and not pay the $2.90.
Yeah, but Allah has a lot of problems with anyone who goes against the thing.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
But I saw that. You know what it is? With anything, and I think this is not really unique to religion. I think annoying people are drawn to like movements where you get to tell people, where you get to be sort of puritanical and then bully people around. But I've been watching some of these women that are like on the internet posting nonsense. This girl goes, Caitlin Francis, when I say I will be grilling my daughter's future boyfriend about porn use from day one and their relationship so they don't end up in a marriage with a man who thinks like this, which is
Also,
watches
what
porn. When I say me, I mean my husband and I, but I will be but I assume that went without saying. But can you
What
imagine
scenarios you meet the mom for the first time? She goes, "You watch porn?" And you go, "Yes."
what type of porn? Prove it. So let me see your
yes.
fucking history.
Oh my god, that would be like, smash the phone, I guess. But like, yeah,
It's another case of figured out the life hack of lying.
Yeah, lying. You go, yeah, I don't know. I'm not fucking. This is the first meeting. You're like, I'm on my best behavior. You
Okay.
know, what kind of porn you like? Oh, ma'am, I don't watch porn.
I'll tell you what I would say. So you be the mother, and I just showed up. Oh, nice to meet you,
Yeah, nice to
Mrs.
meet you too.
Anderson.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Ryan. So you like porn?
Oh, you a freak, huh? Oh shit! You didn't tell me your mom's a freak like that.
shit.
Oh shit! Getting right into it. What you saying?
Dicky.
You didn't know. Tell me your mom's a freak ass bitch like that.
Oh, we gonna watch some?
Yeah. Do you want me to fucking? How do you get from the thing that makes your phone connect to the
Oh
screen?
yeah, AirPlay.
I mean, airplay some
You want me
shit.
to AirPlay some of my faves?
Yo, it's airplay some Mia Khalifa up there. You know what I'm saying? Who's your favorites?
Yeah.
She goes, no, I'm making sure that you don't watch it.
Oh, well, I misread that pretty badly.
Let's just say the skin on my dick be chafing, Mrs. Anderson.
But luckily, your daughter should be able to help with a little bit of that, if you know what I'm saying.
It's gonna be fucking nuts if I'm at a restaurant meeting your girl's parents for the first time and
That's
they
the
start
first question.
immediately start grilling you about how much porn
Yeah,
you're
it's not
watching.
like, what do you do? It's just like, how much porn do you watch?
Let me see your fucking phone right now. Prove to me that you don't watch porn.
Yeah.
Mom, stop it. No.
No, told you. I mean, hopefully the chick would be kind of wise because this isn't the first time, and she'd be like, delete your browser history.
Yeah.
Trust me.
By the way, if you have any porn on your phone, get rid of that because this girl is gonna.
Yeah, she's going to go through it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever want to have that conversation. And if I was a girl and I knew my mom, every time I bring someone they start grilling them about porn, I would definitely, you'd be like, okay, you're not meeting anyone anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause you keep fucking asking
stop
about
doing this.
about what porn they watch.
Plus, 5 boyfriends have broken up with me the day after they met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
So those people are, I guess there's annoying people everywhere is the moral of the story, but
Sure. Although she might be some super like crazy lib mom who has a crazy lib kid, and then maybe the kid's like, I only watch ethical porn. And she goes, right answer. It's the right answer right there.
But it definitely reminded me of when I was watching
Full
the like
Bush, feminist produced. Like,
yes,
all that
yes.
stuff,
Full Bush.
I only watch Full Bush.
You couldn't fucking pay me to watch Full Bush porn, man. Makes me gag.
Yeah, it's so good.
So does porn without the bush. I don't want to see a vagina, man. I'm trying to eat. I do watch porn. You go, I do watch porn every now and then, but strictly research. My pants are on. I just watch.
I had a buddy actually.
The creepiest way to watch
I had
porn.
a buddy in high school. We'd go over to his house and he'd just like literally just be like,
That's the real freak.
Dude, it was literally like his bedroom door would be open, his parents kicking around.
Do you think he's trying to prove to you that he's straight?
No, I don't think so. He just was like, dude, it was the most bizarre thing because it's like, most people watch porn in private. It's like a private thing. His bedroom door would be open.
Danny sets the candles
like
up,
bedroom,
gets the
like
lube.
next to his parents' bedroom. And it's like
The fuck?
everybody's just walking around and he's just like sitting in his computer just watching porn. Like kids like would play like watch YouTube videos and he's just like watching hardcore pornography. Yeah.
Jewish?
No.
Interesting.
No, you know him actually.
Really?
He's at my wedding.
Fucking nuts. That was the guy that I saw that one gift that was shaped like an auto blow. That's wild, dude.
I know. He kind of got rid of that after like, but this is when he was like 16. Probably.
Yeah.
But he would just do it. I go, this is fucked up. Your parents are just like cool with this.
Well, watching the edgy atheist debate reminded me a lot of like high school debates.
Yeah.
It was just because I think it's a phase that you go through where you talk about all that stuff and then you realize every conversation has been had 10 trillion times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just like.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people are religious, some people aren't. Whatever.
Yeah, I just don't care. I really don't care.
No, but I do think that there is a point where you go through having to work that out. I think these are college kids. It was like talk about it forever, but you're just like being the atheist guy forever just seems like okay, you know, use the same arguments over and over and over and over and over again. Yes,
Or whatever.
What do you think is more annoying, the like super aggressive atheist or the super aggressive Christian? Like you're at a funeral and they're like, you know, I just know the Lord's watching over, and she's like, there actually is no Lord.
He's just like under dirt and he's turned off like a computer.
You know, I'm just happy. You know, my mom's in a better place right now. Actually, she's not.
Yeah,
she's
just
in no
buried.
place.
She's in that box 6 feet under the ground right now in the dirt. And she's just gonna rot away.
Like, what do you think's worse, that or
that,
you know?
Yeah, that is. I mean, definitely at that time, like for the spot to be saying that for sure. That's the most annoying thing. Generally, the atheists. I was gonna say the atheists are more annoying, but it depends. Like they both have annoying factions for sure. There's some people who are just like, yeah, I'm an atheist. I don't ever talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fine. And there's people who are Christians who are like, I don't ever talk about it.
It is kind of a weird thing, period, because you're like, if you become this like religious scholar, it's your whole deal. But it is true, if you're in the Western culture, you mostly are just arguing about Christianity, and you're just like, well, why not argue against Hindus?
Sure.
Like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
And I think a lot of times some people like get really into it. They're arguing against their parents.
Covers more bases because you're just like, you're atheist. Like you guys are all wrong. They're trying to figure out which one is the right one. They're atheists are like, all of you are wrong.
You know, I think some people also have like a woman scorn thing where it's like their parents forced it on them and they're like really mad about it. Whereas like, and by the way, I'm good either way. I was baptized. So obviously the true God is the Christian God. I was baptized by Russell Brand at the time.
Last week.
Miami Beach.
Held your head under the water a little too long. Well, he's got some secrets.
Anglican priester Milton Berries was the guy. I've told you about Milton Berries, my guy. Yeah. It's the progressive church now. I told you they have all the gay pastors.
I told you. I mean, they're all going like that. I told you every Jewish rabbi.
We're here for a union.
Every rabbi now for Jewish weddings.
I know.
Woman.
This guy was
purple hair woman.
This guy was souped up though. Like he was. This was not the lesbian rabbis, or he was the gay priest, and he was doing the wedding, and he was like, "We are." And it was a funeral.
Oh,
I was there for a funeral with a gay wedding. He's like, "We are here." You know, he lived a life. Me and
with the Lord.
Dude, my brother are fucking nudging each other. You're getting a load of this guy. He's
Hear
going
the shit.
Dude, this guy was going off. Shit. Also, just on my topic of it was kind of, you know, all these big debate shows where people that I would say 4 years ago were to some degree not, you know, they weren't, it's like, you're not to be debated, they're to be like ignored.
Sure.
Like you're supposed to just keep them on the fringes. They had to like admit that they're not. So now it's just, that's the mainstream is just accepted these people are there now, whether that be Jordan Peterson or, you know, whoever it is.
Sure.
And I thought that was interesting when Tim Dillon went on CNN.
I know.
And they did the like hour debate, and he sort of bullied them into posting it because they were just going to post clips, and he talked about it on big platforms. So they have to post it and
they
sort
have
of
to
force
post
their
it.
hand.
I mean, it did more views than anything they've ever posted on their YouTube.
Yeah, it did
channel.
crazy views.
Yeah, it's like over 1 million views.
But it was. There was probably lots of interesting things.
I actually did not like how little he talked shit specifically about CNN because there were so many times.
Oh, you think he should have?
Well, there were so many times. I guess he was being polite, but there were so many times when she would be like, "Yeah, you know, it's like the mainstream media like does this." He's like, "Yeah, you guys did this specifically." Like when he's talking about like, like, well, you know, why do people distrust like the mainstream media? It's like because you guys have been lying nonstop for the last decade or more.
Yeah,
and like it's fucking chickens are coming home to roost here.
You know, there is two certain personalities though. I think there's one personality that's like they go on things and talk to people like as if they were talking to someone at a bar. Like, does that girl not remind you of like 100 people we know? Right?
For sure. Yeah.
Like if you were at a comedy club chatting with her, that's not true. If you might pull that. Yeah, you might be like, you mean you? Yeah. But that's friendly still too.
Yeah, of course. You'd be like ribbon. But I mean, it's just, she's...
I don't know. It depends, but...
She seemed...
But their big thing is the underlying thing for like news organizations that they have like a really hard time understanding about podcasts, and they're just like, well, don't you think they'll go in the wrong direction? Blah, blah. Like they have, what if your fans think this?
They have a very clear sense of like what's right and wrong.
Right, but the more important thing is they don't understand the appeal of your word. You go, what if your fans think this? You go, yeah, I don't give a shit because I'm not selling something.
Right.
And
I'm not selling fucking farm ads. So
Right.
I don't like it. I don't have a safe
or selling a viewpoint.
Yeah. I don't
but there's so many people where they go, there's kind of a, the idea that people that are trying to get power have a harder time getting power because it's like their motivations are obvious.
Sure.
Whereas some people that are just like, hey, I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you what you have to do.
No.
And I might tell advice like the way that I tell a friend or tell this, but you go, they have a really, and people are very sensitive to being sold something, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you
They know
watch
when they're being sold something.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
like
feel it.
people can feel it. That's why, sometimes the industry has a hard time like manufacturing plants as much as people say they do manufacture them. And people actually, I kind of see it as like even in, high school or even after that, or in life, but everything's kind of the most in high school. People aren't convinced of viewpoints. They more see people that they think are cool.
Yeah,
and then
and they
kind of like,
adopt
okay,
them.
or at least like hear them out because they're like, oh, that guy's life seems to be working. What does he think on that? And you're like, I sort of have like a respect for this person.
Yeah.
So I like take their viewpoint into
Or
account.
you just like them.
Or
think
if you
they're
just
cool, you
like
think they're
them,
cool, and
you
you're
like they're
forming
cool.
your identity,
Yeah, like
you
how
know.
many people like think a band is cool, and then they take on all their opinions.
Yeah,
They're like
and they dress
they didn't
like them,
convince you of those opinions. You just saw a guy, and you're like, oh, that guy seems
Yeah,
sick
for sure.
And then you go, what does he think on this? You're like, well, he's sick, so
he said,
that sounds right.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, but like that comes from like not caring. There's even going back to like seduction shit. It was like so many dudes that don't care if they smash or not are better at smashing the girl.
Of course.
And people always go, well, how do you pretend you don't care? It's like, you don't pretend you don't care. You actually don't care.
Yeah, you have to not care.
You actually have to not care. It's like, but I think it's the same. It reminded me of that conversation where people are like, well, how do you pretend that you don't give a shit so you can actually, but you do actually give a shit and then you can get what you want? You're like, no. You're missing the point where like you actually aren't selling something.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm just like, I do a fucking podcast on the internet because I was forced to, essentially, because,
Well, you have a lot of opinions, especially if you're like, you're in comedy, like you have a lot of opinions on things.
Yeah, and her whole thing
And if you have a viewpoint and a perspective, but you're just not telling people they have to have it.
Yeah, I know. Her whole thing, too, was so stupid. She's like, why are there no left-wing comedians? You're like, what the fuck are you talking
you
about?
mental?
You're like, first off, 10 years ago, there was 3 right-wing comedians.
And they were all on the
It was
Larry
Dennis
Cable Guy
Miller,
tour.
yeah, it was Larry the Cable Guy, fucking Bill Engvall, Jeff Foxworthy, and Dennis Miller, and Tim Allen.
I think like a centrist
There was
person
literally
with like
a handful of right-wing comedians. Like that would be considered by
Yeah.
CNN right-wing comedians. Now they're like, oh my God, there's so many. And you're like,
no, there's a bunch of like centrists with like libertarian or Bernie Sanders-y leanings.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
those that is blowing their minds.
but again, these people didn't change their opinions. You just decided recently that they are in fact right-wing because they didn't come along with you further left. They're like, they're not right-wing. Like Tim Dillon, I don't know, but like probably all those guys were like, yeah, I was just like every other left-wing comedian 10 years ago. Like
Sure.
when there was no right-wing comedians, it's just like was not a thing.
Yeah, they have some wacky viewpoints on that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like them just not understanding the entire kind of like the entire culture of like the purpose of this is not because even when they're saying the liberal Joe Rogan stuff, right, which has been their big, these guys are obsessed with that topic.
Obsessed.
How do we get a liberal Joe Rogan? It was like, see, the fact that you're trying to manufacture this means you see power and you're like, how do we get that power
Sure.
and then manipulate them into our thing? You go, the answer would be you'd have to stop wanting that.
Yeah, you have to stop wanting it. You have to be not dishonest constantly.
But they can't because they see, they're like, they keep seeing a thing as how do I use this?
Yeah.
And you go, well, you don't use it. You're like, it's like, how do I have a friend? It's like, people that are like networking and they're like, hey, how do I become friends with that guy so I can get him to put me on his thing? And we'll be like, sure, some people can be really good at manipulating, but you go, the better answer is that you actually make actual friends with people.
Yeah.
And you go, the goal of like every interaction you have with people wasn't to get something immediately.
I'm sure these people like less CNN or whatever, they're like, how much ad spend do we have to do to like get a left-wing Joe Rogan? Like, what does that
Yes,
look like?
they think they can manipulate the world.
How many ads do we need to buy? And you're like, it doesn't work that way.
And I think when they controlled all the institutions, they probably could manipulate the world a little better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So maybe I think, and they're having a really hard time with it. We can't just buy our way out of this.
No, you can't. I mean, again, they were this legacy thing that was just like in place, and it was a fucking cash cow, and it worked for a while.
And it even works less bad to like bring someone on and try to scold them when the person's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Because if you bring someone on that like has 10 times your following and then try to give them a lecture, they're just like, okay, I won't do that again.
yeah.
So, and no one else will talk to you
And
either.
I mean, fucking,
why would they?
Tim Dillon made a good point where he's like, I asked Tim Walz and I asked all these people to be on my show, and they said no.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, oh, well, that's the start of it. Is like, Tim Dillon's popular from going on Rogan, essentially. Like, that's how he built his. So it's like, go on these platforms and like kind of mine their audience.
But they can't because they have this intractable problem where they get in trouble for doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, it is,
and they want you, and they're trying to go on your platform to try to sell you on the rules of more rules.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to go into decentralized spaces and sell them on centralization, and then they get in trouble for even talking to you because their whole thing is like, I'm gonna have you on to talk to you about how people shouldn't have people like you on.
I know.
It's like kind of what their message is.
Yeah. It's been really fascinating watching Jake Tapper get fucking kind of more and more based. Do you see this podcast thing?
Tapper's been fucking funny.
Dude,
these days. Get Tapper on the cast, man.
Dude, Tapper's been
ask your boy.
I'll ask him. The problem is he thinks this is a podcast about the show The Boys.
Would be even funnier. Even funnier.
Which
He
is a
shows
show
up.
he loves.
Dude, he shows up like in the gear.
Yeah. He goes, so what season are we talking about this week? And you go, Jake, have a seat.
All right, Jake, would you rather suck one dick? And he goes, is that a question from one of the episodes?
Did you see
of
the thing
Boys?
where he was on the podcast talking about his son or whatever?
That would be funny. We actually brought him on and just had a full conversation with the boys. Like we just go.
Yeah, we do it. Yeah. Like we go watch every episode.
We're like, hey, what's your favorite thing about Homelander?
Homelander. Remember season 3? Homelander.
Pretty sick, right?
Pretty sick, right? Pretty sick. And goes, yeah, I love Homelander.
Would you smash Starlight or not?
But you see that thing where he was talking about his kid or whatever?
Yes.
Or whatever. So basically he was like, he did a podcast essentially and then he did another one about it. But like he went on some left-wing podcast and they're asking him about his kid. And he's like, my kid's like, my kid doesn't have political opinions. It's like, he's 15 years old. All he cares about is like World War II.
And gaming.
And gaming and playing football. And they're like, I'm pretty sure he has some opinions, pal. World War II, you say?
It's not completely untrue.
Yeah, I mean, what's more common than like
depends what game he's playing.
Yeah, but also
check. You have to tell me what Discord's he in.
Sure,
for the game.
Yeah. But also, it's like, what's more common than a kid like going against their parents like politics kind of thing too. But he's like, yeah, my son wants to become a cop or whatever, and then they were like, oh, and they're basically like these left wing podcasts.
Does he live in New York?
I think he does live in New York. Maybe he lives.
That's why I'm saying you can get him on.
Yeah, I mean, I could text him.
Or is he gonna make you get him off to get him on?
I don't know. I'll do it. But anyways, but he's like, my kid wants to be a cop, and then they're just like, oh, so your kid's like racist?
Yeah.
And then he went on those other podcasts, and he's like,
I'm normal.
Yeah, but he's slowly starting.
He's like, I'm normal. I just had a bit of TDS.
Yeah, but he's slowly starting to realize, even though the Biden book is absolutely nonsense.
Tapper is a little late on.
He's all over the place.
Tapper's wiretap comes in about 60. It's like a carrier pigeon wiretap. It comes in late.
He's like one of those. He has like one of those satellites where it's like receiving like a fucking thing from like Mars, and you go, yeah, it takes 6 years to get here.
He's getting a lot of 2019 signals right now.
But basically, he's like, yeah, why are they calling fucking kids racist? He's like, this is why the Democrats are losing. You're like, just figuring this out now, Jake. Okay. All right. Well,
he's like, everything was about the boys. He's like, yeah, I was just hearing that people are calling Homelander like racist or something. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, what is this? Like, I don't get it. It's a good dude.
Yeah, Tapper's 5 steps behind with his wiretaps.
Yeah, he's a little off. But
yeah,
but the problem is he's in a position where he makes so much money where he's like, he can't really.
I guess he was just like a little isolated. Just go into that CNN building.
You're not isolated. You have to willfully be. You're like getting this fucking $10 million check.
You're right. It's a little generous to say that.
No, he's not isolated. He just knows who fucking pays him, and he knows what he's allowed to say and what he's not allowed to say.
Right, and now the window's opening up a little more over there in the lunch tables at CNN.
Well, because CNN is just like, we're so fucked being so far left wing, so they're now having all these like conservatives on. Like they probably didn't have a single conservative on their.
Do you think they had like a big party at CNN where they bring everyone in and they have like their mandates on the wall, like call everyone racist, Trump's the devil, and then he brings everyone and he's like, I have an announcement to make, and he rips one off the wall and everyone goes, yeah, we don't have to
We're free.
We're free from the shackles.
Yeah. So
The white men have to take their like bands off their arms.
yeah.
Freedom.
Finally.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's
The tap, man.
Tapmeister.
But it also reminded me, the Tim Dillon interview kind of reminded me of like just period about art, because like it's, you know, I use the pickup artist analogy, but it's sort of an art analogy in general, where I've kind of said a lot of times there's certain personalities that will never be that good at art stuff, because to do it you have to make so many wrong decisions in a row, like irrational,
fail
right?
a lot, yeah.
But I wasn't even saying you have to fail a lot. For you, smart guy, economics degree, for you to, instead of get a job, move to the city to do open mics for 6 years in a row was an irrational decision.
Absolutely.
So every step along the way is irrational.
Yeah.
I could be working on this, but instead I'm doing this. Okay, I'm going to go, you know, spend a bunch of money to go to Vancouver. Remember, we went and did open mics for 2 weeks there. Like, all of those moves are like irrational. And so you have, and there's more. It's not just life. It's the jokes you're making. Like, yes, the jokes, you have to kind of go down irrational pathways to get to something good. So you have to be irrational so much that it doesn't make sense to someone who can only see the world like that.
Sure.
It's like when you're talking to someone and you're talking about this, they go, how do you make money from that? You go, if you're saying that like at the beginning, you're so far removed from what it will take. It's like, the answer is that you need to do this for like 15 years somewhere along the way, and probably the quicker you stop thinking like that, probably the quicker you will.
Yeah.
Just the same way that like the quicker you stop thinking about like friendships, like what can I get from this person, probably the quicker that your friends would be willing to help you.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
And I think it was the same thing was that like as soon as you can stop thinking that the purpose of this medium is to push a political viewpoint, the quicker that you'll probably have more success at it.
I mean, if that chick
But then it becomes rendered useless to you because the whole use is to push a political viewpoint.
Yeah, like if that chick got fired from CNN tomorrow, where she has like, you know, a salaried job with benefits, and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna go start a podcast, she'll kill herself in 2 weeks. If she has to do that. Like if she's I'll just go start a podcast, and you go, I have 112 views on my episode. You're like,
right.
After 2 weeks, she's like, I
used to be on CNN's
YouTube channel.
But that girl specifically was just reminding me of a million people.
Yeah,
I know, it wasn't
it's
anything
totally
crazy. Like I've had that. I've had conversations
shit.
with those people a million times. They're just like,
course.
what? Did Joe Rogan? Isn't that guy like transphobic?
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay.
Oh, the cage fighter?
Yeah. Just like so not even tapped into like what the
yeah.
world is.
Yeah.
But
It was an interesting thing, though, because this is a point I make, and a lot of people disagree with me, but she was talking about how she went to South Dakota or whatever, and asking about like because they were talking about like the visas being revoked or whatever. And she's like, I was bringing this up to people in South Dakota, and they're like, no idea what I'm talking about.
that may be true.
Yeah. Where it's just like, it is interesting because sometimes in our world, I've said this before, but like, you think everybody's like tapped into this stuff, and there's so many people who are just like, do not know what's going on. They care about their fucking job and their family. And
Some of them might just be 2 years behind, but
maybe
they're tapped into the issues that affect them.
Yeah.
I agree with that. If you're living in there and you go, what doesn't affect you is, what the fuck's happening at Harvard.
Yeah, for sure. I know.
Fellas, it is time again for us to tell you about Marek Health. Let's be real. Most doctors don't care about optimization. They check your basic labs, tell you everything looks normal, send you on your way. Meanwhile, you're feeling tired, your performance is slipping, you know something's off. That's where Marek Health comes in. So Marek Health is not your typical doctor's office. They're a next-level health optimization platform that listens to you, runs advanced lab testing, helps you optimize your hormones, metabolism, overall performance, whether you're looking to boost energy, gain muscle, just feel your best self. Marek gives you the tools to make it happen. You've got two options. You can go with their guided optimization program, get a dedicated health coach and medical provider to help you out with supplements and prescription treatments. Or if you're more of a do-it-yourself guy, you can order self-service lab tests, take control of your health on your own terms. So you can get the exact panel that me and Danny got, your own Marek Health coach, a licensed medical provider oversight. You can access over 600 treatments and supplements. Also, if you had thoughts on things, you can ask them about it, which I've
And they're
done.
all jacked.
All the guys are jacked.
Not for nothing.
You do your blood work. They go through it. They put together a optimization package, and then you go do your blood work again in like 2 or 3 months, and they see how it's been optimizing, I guess would be the right word.
Sure,
You see how what's changed, what's better, what's worse, and then they make changes to that plan. They have stuff that other companies don't have yet. Me and Danny are both on Tadalafil. You know, bricked up. You already know what it is.
Bricked up boys.
They're ahead of the curve. Traditional healthcare lags behind research, denies progressive treatment options, and ignores comprehensive lab work. So, if you want to take control of your health today, head to marekhealth.com. Use the code Boyscast at checkout. You get a 10% discount. Take control of your health today. marekhealth.com with the code Boyscast for 10% off. I was kind of thinking with the even recently, like the Israeli ambassador that got shot.
Yeah.
It was like I was trying to figure out, you know, what the theories were and this and that, and obviously there's a million people saying it's a false flag, but it's sometimes hard with
Only certain faction of people saying it's a false
well,
flag.
but it's hard. Well, I saw a lot of it, but it's hard with Israel because everyone always says it's a false flag. So it's hard to get a vision of like, is this one? What are the chances this one has some funny business? Because they always say it's funny business.
Sure.
You know what? Okay.
Well, anything that hurts their narrative, they go, it's a false flag. Like the false flag community is literally go, anything that is optically bad for us is a false flag. Therefore, it's no longer bad for us.
well, that's true, but it can be something can not be a false flag, but have like funny business.
Except
in
for
it.
the leftists, because the leftists are like, yeah, we did that, and we're doing more of that. Enjoy.
Right.
Like they're like, yeah, this was not a like the leftists are literally like, this was not a false flag. We will. This is Luigi, and we're
Yeah,
doing
this
this
is more
again, and
Luigi stuff.
expect more of this. Because we are only going to get our way via violence. It's the people on the right who are like anti-Israel who go, oh, this is going to give Israel some sympathies,
Yeah.
or whatever, and they go, no, that's a false flag because we can't let them get.
I actually listened to a bit of the Martyr Made, like his. I know that everyone's saying his big controversial series was Fear and Loathing in Jerusalem,
great.
but it's like, first of all, it's 30 hours long.
Yeah, it's 30 hours long.
So I dipped into it, but it is funny. That's what I was. I'm in Jamaica and fucking, people just getting drunk and then boom, boom, boom in the background and listening to the fucking, the Zionist stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I did have some like. It is one of those things where you're like. Yeah, he's kind of sympathetic to his obviously point of view is kind of sympathetic to the Palestinians, but you're like, I can't imagine listening to that and being like, this is fucking nuts.
No, yeah.
Like, he had some interesting points. I thought probably the best point that like maybe is obvious, but to me, I would have never thought of is he was like, when a country's colonizing other colonies, like the move that, I mean, everyone said this, so maybe I'm feeling dumb as I'm saying this, but he was like, you have to put unpopular people in charge because then unpopular people don't have enough support, so they need to lean on you for their legitimacy.
Sure.
And then leaning on you for their legitimacy makes them seem less legitimate, and they have to lean on you more, and then it becomes a puppet, right?
Right.
So it's like, that's the only way to keep a colony in check, because if you have someone that has tons of popular support, they could just turn on you.
Yeah, they turn on you and they just seize all the power.
So the only way to have your colonies not turn on you is to have them have not very much support, and they
like
need you there to like back up their decisions.
Right, with whatever money or force.
And it was like the British playbook over and over again. And I guess everyone, if you look at every case, they kind of do that. But I guess maybe I'm like, that's why I'm saying I'm dumb, because there's some times where people would be like, they keep putting people in charge that are puppets and this and that. And you're like, yeah, that's on purpose. That's like the written down British playbook. It was just like so obvious. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I will say with the whole Israel thing, is like, as someone who's Jewish, like, they don't, when you're a kid and they talk about Israel, like Seth Rogen said it, but they're like, they don't tell you people were there. They really do make it out like it was just like, no, there's nobody there.
Right.
Yeah. Like, they don't talk about any of that ever. Like, it never came up once. Where they go like, yeah, there was a bunch of people there. Like, you can make an argument where they're like, they were given some offer or they were paid.
Or you could also just make the argument like, yeah, that was in the past. Here we are.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
You could.
Exactly. But like, they definitely like do not bring that up.
Interesting.
That point where there was like, yeah, there were people there.
I was kind of thinking that that posting about Israel is sort of like the bikini pic for men, because like there's a lot of creators or YouTubers or whatever it is that post a lot of stuff, and then they start posting about Israel Palestine, and they'll never get like a sweeter juice than that. It's like when a girl tries to post her thinky opinions, and then all of a sudden she posts the bikini photo and it just fucking dummies everything she's ever done.
I guess this is what I do now.
Yeah, you go.
I mean, we've seen so many people who go, I guess this is what I do now.
You'll never get the sweet nectar like that, and I think there's guys like that are on the internet that post about like a Palestine thing, and they're just like, I'll never get juice like I've gotten there.
Hell
and you go,
no.
that's
I mean, Jake Shields is like literally, he was posting about flat Earth and conspiracy stuff. And
dude, it's the bikini photo. It's the bikini photo for men.
Posted something about Israel. He goes, my engagement just went up 10x.
But with girls, they might have a bit of extra juice, but posting about the Israel Palestine thing. But also, you're just like, not as much as if you pop a titty out.
No,
you know what I mean? Whereas dudes don't have like one level up where I can show a ball.
Sure. By the way, I've started seeing like actual pornography on TikTok. I don't know what's going on there. I literally like get banned for off-color jokes.
Well, you're allowed to. On TikTok.
On TikTok, like
The
I've seen
fuck?
actual like fucking
What kind of weird ass shit are you in?
like actual vaginas on TikTok.
That must have been a fucking treat for you.
That's what that looks like.
Oh my god. Someone's like, Danny, that's actually a
Chinese are poisoning
that's a
our
butthole.
Dude, the Chinese. I don't know what that is. What is that? What am I looking at right now? Chinese are poisoning our minds.
Danny likey.
Danny Reiki.
You've seen lots of it?
I don't know if it was like a glitch in fucking like TikTok's algorithm.
Space-time continuum.
Where it was like not getting detected, because I haven't seen it. There's like a couple days where I like kept seeing like they were like literal. It wasn't hard.
Shit does fuck your day up if you're trying to work and then all of a sudden they start giving you actual titties.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you doing here? But it was.
You won't last 5 minutes in this thread. You ever see those?
No.
You'll see it. Twitter has tons of that where it's like, you won't last 5 minutes looking at this thread.
Although, actually, you know what's way more ridiculous is fucking the Twitter algorithm is the search is so broken. So I was on the subway and I was trying to watch Elon Musk's Sunday morning CBS interview about Doge or whatever.
Yeah, he clocked out.
Dude, if you search Sunday morning on Twitter,
waking up at the blues,
it's all hardcore porn. That's all that came up for me was just.
Oh, they knew to hack the.
No, I don't. I think it's just like hardcore. We go Sunday morning, dude. You post Sunday. You search Sunday morning on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
They just did. They're back.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know, but it was like, dude, I searched Sunday morning, expecting to get this,
Johnny liked what he's heard. He's pulled the phone out.
expecting to get like CBS interviews, the CBS interview, which is like,
So your girl,
on Elon
your
Musk's
girl
app.
walks in, Danny, it's fucking 1 p.m. We're about to go to church. I'm looking for CBS interviews.
I'm just trying to get the CBS.
I'm trying to watch my programs.
Yeah, and it was just hardcore porn. Just nonstop. No fucking content warning, nothing. Just
Crazy.
hardcore porn. And it's like most of it was hardcore porn.
You should report that, Danny. Be a good boy.
I ain't no snitch.
Elon Musk has given up, though, for sure.
Yeah, it's done so.
I think that's he definitely.
He's got a taste of the fucking real world, pal.
He got a taste of the real world. He was just like, oh, no one wants to stop spending money.
Yeah, he goes, literally, he's basically like, okay, so I
But my savings.
He's like, I tarnished the reputation of Tesla, my own personal.
The government does
reputation.
girl math, man.
Dude, literally, he's like, I tarnished all this shit. I like gave up my time. I was like sleeping on the floor of this fucking office.
And then Trump girl mathed him where he goes, oh, we saved $250 million. Oh, good. We can spend $260 million. He goes, no.
Spend the same. And I'm going to save the money. We can spend it down the line. And Trump's like, spent.
No.
Money's been spent.
Yeah, money been spent.
Yeah.
Every Republicans and Democrats are always Osama bin spending.
I mean, that's what they do, man.
Well, incentive-wise, I mean, there's just no incentive
Well,
to save, man.
Trump's explanation.
They're living that, the government is living that hot chick wife life.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's, I guess, thing is he goes like, look, when you pass these bills, like it's not like as much as people want to call him a dictator, it's like it doesn't work that way. It's like it's this negotiation. So he's like, to get certain things, you got to give up certain things, and all people want is just
More
money
things
to buy shit
for their constituents,
for their shit or whatever, and it adds up, and eventually you're just like, it's impossible.
It does seem like an impossible game because if he can't do it, man.
And
If he couldn't even make a dent, really?
dude, and he's trying to fucking, his whole thing is like, well, the tariffs, the money from the tariffs, but then literally yesterday 3 district court judges ruled the tariffs illegal, essentially, and then another judge today ruled the tariffs illegal, which is essentially like, not only will they potentially stop tariffs with any countries, they're gonna have to return the money that they charged, which actually the consumer just gets fucked at that point, because then
you just hit the tax on the consumer the government gets.
it was just a tax on the
government lines their fucking coffers.
So the consumer just basically bought all this stuff that was like tariffed and it was higher prices, but then the actual, at the source, they get their money back. Whoever paid the tariffs, so then it's insane if it happens. Trump's trying to be like, this is nothing and we'll get around it, but
yeah,
because he's using emergency powers.
dude.
So.
Elon Musk right now, he's like a kid, and he's
He just found out the fucking tooth fairy wasn't real.
He's going to his parents. He goes, I don't want to play politics anymore, and he locks his door and he plays with his rockets.
Yeah.
I don't want to play politics anymore.
Basically.
They want to spend all my money. They won't stop spending.
They don't respect me.
They can't stop, dude. They're addicted, man.
I know.
They're on that girl math budget.
Dude, they love that fucking unlimited credit card.
They definitely have they think credit card's free money.
Yeah, they got that Amex Black.
She thinks it's free. She goes, you just swipe it every month. It just like gets
Yeah.
it fills up again. You go, I've been paying that. Are you serious right now? I've been paying that.
You don't get how that works?
It just fills back up every month.
It's just unlimited money. Unlimited free money hack.
Yeah, she thinks she cracked the free money.
cracked the code.
Shh, don't tell it. Hey, come here. Don't tell anyone. But this black credit card, it's free money. Is every month it fills up. The guy just pulls a gun and puts it in his mouth.
Hey man, if you're not from America, it is free money. Just fucking move here for 6 months, get a fucking Amex Platinum card, rack it up, and peace out.
Now you're fucking rolling.
That's apparently a big.
There's a couple lone Congress people that are fighting the power, but
Yeah, they've always been fighting the power, and everybody's like, get a load of this nut job.
wacky man,
Wacky Rand Paul wants to fucking
balance the budget.
yeah, crazy man.
It's like the girl saying this, like, you're just like, we're not okay. Like, I'm willing to do like, Comfort Plus or whatever, but the ticket's $400. I'm not paying dropping another $3,000 so we can have a better seat for 2 hours.
Sure.
Everyone's like, get a load of this fucking cheapskate. This guy's fucking nuts. Fucking broke bitch.
Yeah, broke ass bitch.
Fucking wacky ass broke bitch.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was Elon Musk's foray into politics. Put him in the fucking spin cycle.
He's definitely back in the room.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
It worked out how it's supposed to work out.
You know what it is? The Democrats are the wife that won't spending, and the Republicans are the guy that says their household needs to stop spending, but he has a gambling problem.
Yeah. He's just spending elsewhere. He
He has a gambling problem, and he's into gambling and prosties, and he doesn't want to tell them. So you're just like, he's spending just as much.
Yeah, you do your
But like on
spending.
paper, he's frugal.
Yeah. He goes, this guy doesn't buy a thing, and he goes, he's got a bad.
So many guns. You have no idea how many guns this guy bought. He keeps buying alarm systems.
Yeah, hey, man, that shit pays for itself.
See, that Trump said he's trying to do his own Iron Dome.
Yeah, the Golden Dome.
The
of
gold-
course.
the Golden
It's one
Shower
better
Dome.
than iron.
The Golden Shower Dome. I actually wrote it
He's
down.
trying to squeeze Canada.
Giving up statehood exchange for protection by the proposed Golden Dome missile defense system at no cost, despite Canadian. So the bottom line is he's saying that it's going to cost Canada a lot of money, or it's for free if you join the.
And he said that Canada's interested.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then Mark Carney's like, no,
we're not.
I never said we're interested.
Nah, he's interested.
I mean, it is an interesting thing because essentially, if America builds and it goes, all right, I guess Canada's just like not defended, and it puts Canada in like a pretty tough spot where they're like,
I guess that's the goal.
They're just like, yeah, well, then you're open to invasion, and we're not helping. It's like if you didn't pay up, then we're not helping you.
Yeah.
And if you do want to pay up, it's like, well, good luck finding that money. I mean, I guess you could fucking fuck your economy over further.
I don't know, speaking of domes, I don't know if you read our buddy's newsletter, but he was Jonathan, but he had a pretty good point where he was just like, when you're trying to run like a company or society or anything, like household anything, he was like, prevention is probably the best, where you're like, okay, we put alarm systems up to prevent this, or we do this to prevent crime, or we do this to prevent, attacks from other nations. But he was like, the prevention, the problem with it is people can always drain you because the attack always costs less than the prevention, right?
Right, yeah.
So for a guy to come and try to, break your window or whatever, but he can't get in, costs him 2 seconds, but for you it costs like $200, right? Or for a guy to shoot a missile costs whatever, but to shoot it down costs 10 times, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So he's like, but then also so what you need to do is obviously incorporate punishment, but there's like a perfect equilibrium where you kind of like, you let some in, but you let a certain amount, but then you punish that very strong to prevent,
it's like
and that's the perfect
deterrence.
So, but I guess the accusation he was making is that some people, it's like they want to do, they want to like try to stop crime and before blah 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 without actually doing any of the punishment. And if you don't do the punishment, all you can do is bankrupt yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean that's similar to the criminal justice system where they're like,
I think he was making of making it to a lot of different things.
Like that's the
but there's a perfect calculus
the
equation.
insider trading is they catch so little of it that they punish you so harshly because right, because they're like, we know we're not catching even 1% of this stuff, but whoever we do catch, we're going to punish so harshly just to deter.
And if we were to try to catch, like to stop it all,
it would cost more.
It would bankrupt us.
Yeah, it would bankrupt us if we were trying to actually catch it all, and it's not even possible.
So there's like a perfect equation if you remove either, but if you remove the punishment part, it's like all you can do is bankrupt yourself. I thought that was like a pretty good point he was kind of making, and there was like a perfect equilibrium.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, just a quick thing. You know what? Actually, on the topic of crypto, in New York, fucking dude gets tortured for his crypto password.
This is a very common thing in crypto, though.
Is it?
Dude, I never told you this. So back when we lived in Toronto, we used to do this show, Todd Shapiro. This guy used to have a show on Sirius.
Yeah.
And one day he brought in this dude. This was like in 2016, 17 maybe. And he brought in this guy. I don't remember what his name was, but he's one of the guys. There's like 7 or 9 guys who invented Ethereum. Okay, it's like Vitalik's like the main guy, but then there were these other guys who were like credited with like inventing Ethereum, right? So this guy had like tons of Ethereum, like literally. I remember at the time Googling his name, and he had just bought like, this is when Ethereum was $200 or something, $150. He had just bought the most expensive condo in Toronto, the most expensive penthouse. He basically bought 2 penthouses, tore down the wall, combined it. It was like a $47 million penthouse. Like this guy was like fucking rolling in dough. So he came on to do the show as a guest, and he had like 4 security guards with him. And I didn't understand it.
I knew that. I didn't know that they actually get kidnapped a lot.
Well, I asked him, I was like, why do you have so many security guards? And he's like, it's literally like because people are trying to kidnap me. Because the thing with crypto is not like a bank where it's like, you send a wire, like, and it's, if you put a gun to your head, maybe they'll reverse it or whatever. Like with crypto, like once it's gone, it is gone. Like once you get your keys and you send it out. Like,
can you get insurance on your crypto?
Probably.
Can you get like kidnapping insurance?
I don't know. It would probably be like incredibly expensive, but probably not. I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to underwrite that, but it is a common thing in crypto where you.
I mean, the trick is to have no one know.
That's the trick. But
where you're just like, but then you're like, I'm a rich crypto guy, and no one even knows.
Yeah, and there's tons of those, and it's by design. But this guy was like one of the founders of Ethereum.
Hard to get away from it.
You can't get away from him. So he just has to have like literally like Secret Service with him at all times.
I don't get this one. They tortured him for like 2 weeks or some shit. You're like that. Well, I don't know.
They didn't need to piss on him.
Did they piss on him?
Yeah, they pissed on him at one point.
I just don't realize though. If you had a normal guy in a chair, right?
Yeah.
You think by like 8 hours in, you've done all the stuff. Like, well, then you start cutting off fingers. Like, what do you do where you're just like, okay, we'll try again tomorrow? Like, they couldn't have been beating him up. They couldn't have been torturing him that hard if it lasted 15 days.
Look, they know he has these keys to whatever 100. The weird part is that the guy who was doing the torturing is this guy who's known to have $100 million in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but that's how he knew this guy had him.
So you're like, what do you need more money for?
Yeah, I don't really get that part either. I mean,
you're going to jail for the rest of your life because you just like need more than $100 million.
Endless thirst. He couldn't stop.
It's crazy, but I mean, I guess that there's many tales of this happening to people. But yeah, like if you know he has these keys, and you know that once you get them, you can just drain his fucking account. So it's like.
But then he escaped because the guy basically Dr. Evil'd him, where he's like one inept guard, and he put him down, and then he was like, let me go to my laptop, and then they walked over to his laptop, and he escaped.
The keys. He eventually, after like 2 weeks,
it's just so crazy that's happening like in
Soho.
right, like a and
not even like this isn't like the Bronx and some shithole.
Yeah,
this is in a $40,000 a month fucking apartment.
Yeah, someone like someone.
$40,000 a month townhouse.
Yeah, some like head of Goldman Sachs doesn't even realize that right beside him there's a guy like tied up being tortured to death.
Hey man, there's probably someone happening to somewhere around here right now.
Big for the guy to escape though. Did he give up the password? I can't remember.
No, he basically that's how he
would you be able to last 15 days of torturing?
I mean, depends how much piss we're talking about, but
yeah, you'd just be like, oh no. Please.
I might need 2 more weeks of this before I remember my codes.
Please stop.
Are you gargling it? Yeah, we didn't. Part of the torture, we didn't say you had to gargle it. I go, I like it. But no, I think he said he's like, okay, he finally cracked, and he's like, the keys are like over there or whatever. Like, I'll go get them, and then they let him go, and he just ran out the front door.
Yeah. I just don't know how that, like, how bad were these guys at torturing?
Obviously not great. Do
you think they were just? It seems like they were bad at torturing and bad at holding.
I mean, I think torturing's a skill. I don't think you just like...
You can't just punch a guy a bunch.
No, I think there's a psychological element to it where it's like probably like someone who's good at torturing is like, they're good at that.
I don't know. I think you do it. You just cut off a finger. How about that?
Sure.
Okay, then you...
But maybe there's some science to like how...
You start poking him in the ribs.
See, I think
I'd probably rib poke a lot.
I think the threat of... just...
You don't want to be rib poked.
You quit it.
You tell me you want one of these? Oh, Danny was ready to give it. You're already rib.
I'll give you my keys.
Imagine that.
Quit it.
8 hours of fucking in the ribs there with the thumb.
I mean, I definitely think there's an element to the torturing where it's like the threat of the stuff to come is the most. It's the psychological element where you go, this is what's coming if you don't
like
do
opening up the briefcase, pulling out the cat of nine tails.
Or whatever. You go, hey, we're going to cut off your...
What's the one that has the ball and the spikes on it?
A mace?
Mace.
Yeah. We're going to cut off your finger tomorrow. And then you have to think all day about getting...
We're going to cut your dick off tomorrow.
Yeah, and you have to
peel it.
Yeah, and you have to think all day about your dick getting cut off.
You're about to get
tomorrow.
a fucking crypto circumcision.
Yeah, that'd be way worse than just getting the dick cut off right away.
I guess. They'd both be bad for me.
They'd both be bad, but there's one of those that is worse, and is the waiting to get your dick cut off.
Right.
Yeah, so...
For you, the actual getting the dick cut off would be a relief.
Yeah, I go, phew.
Finally, I'm actualized.
Finally, I'm a woman.
Put it in my mouth.
That would be unnecessary.
Dude, they did you know that guy Kai Cenat?
Yeah.
He's doing like a streaming thing.
Yeah, Streamer
University. And it's just like within day one, it's just like a fight on every... It's like,
of course.
Dude, he has all these people in. They're trying to make that that is the start of creating the world where everyone's just like in a different room, like doing TikTok, doing dances, and
it's like a TikTok mill. Everybody's in their little...
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it was just like the thing has just been like this huge disaster where like everyone's stealing from everyone. There's a fight on every floor.
Yeah, they didn't like it. He was like, I guess he was trying to like get too much, like he was making all these like insensitive videos, like basically telling people they weren't accepted in, and then they were making it's all like reactions to reactions to reactions to reactions where they're like, he made a stream that was like insensitive, and someone's like, yeah, she's being a huge bitch about this. It's like, whatever, it happens, and someone's, you know.
Yeah, I guess from a making him more popular thing, it worked, but
yeah.
Apparently by the end of it, he was like, hey, I'm not doing Streamer University anymore.
It's stupid. I mean, he doesn't need the money. I don't know what the reasoning for it is.
Well, I mean, you could say that about anything. I mean, there's people a lot richer than him. I don't know.
But it was like, I think wasn't it only like 50 people or 20 people or something?
I think maybe he thinks he's giving back. I don't know. It's a publicity stunt. Like those
publicity stunt.
Those guys have to keep thinking of publicity stunts, right? Like that's why they're always like,
if it's a publicity stunt.
What if I stream for 30 days straight?
Yeah.
Like was it coming up with stuff?
Was he the one who like did the free PlayStation giveaway at Union Square?
Yes.
Yeah, that was him, right?
Yeah.
They got arrested for it, for causing a fucking riot.
Yeah. Huge riot.
Yeah.
Oh, and that crypto trader shit was fucking nuts. Our buddy sent this to us, but you know how I've been pitching that girls don't like it when you fucking use AI for everything, and they say it's unreliable. Mm-hmm. They did a thing that said AI shows higher emotional intelligence than humans. So they did
even women.
Yeah, they tested women towards computers on emotional intelligence, and they're saying computers. You're not even more emotionally intelligent than a computer.
Oof.
I mean, but you actually say, you go, you know what? I'm gonna ask AI because you don't have the emotional intelligence. No.
It's a very sensitive topic right now, and I don't think you can be trusted with it. So.
We need to ask AEI.
Yeah, let's ask the computer. Chicks that'll fucking see. It's like I don't have to tell a computer to calm down. I've never told AI. I've never told ChatGPT.
Has the emotional intelligence to know that.
Never told ChatGPT to calm down once.
ChatGPT has the emotional intelligence to know that you need to calm down, move on, keep it calm. It's that time of the month. Never that time of the month for ChatGPT.
No, it works fucking 24 hours a day. Non-stop, man.
But so one article, Dear Jane, I tracked my husband's iPhone to a location most women would consider unspeakable. As my husband tried to hail a cab, I honked the horn to get his attention. When he saw me, he went pale, sheepishly approached the passenger door, climbed in. I asked him where I'd been, and he spilled everything. He was part of a spanking club. I was speechless.
What the hell is this gay shit? What is a spanking club?
They have all these things, man.
She made it out like women,
clubs, spanking clubs.
But she made it out like women were leaving too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure this guy probably wants to get spanked by women if it's
But that's
given
what,
the choice.
I'm more on trying to understand. Like, is everybody in a room together? Like, do you all?
I think it's like a conga line sort of situation.
Bum 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 bum.
No,
Yeah, like I actually don't like. How does this even work?
Something like that.
Like you just all show up into a room and you're all like, "Are you in private?"
You put your glove on. You put your spanking glove on.
Yeah, and you just go and you just fucking have a little crank.
Yeah, you have like a 5-minute crank, and then you do it as if like you went to play squash, where you come in, get back dressed,
Sure.
put your bag with your glove on, like, all right, good game, Carl.
You have a little shower.
The wacky shit fucking people are into, man.
Spanking, like I just don't.
Gotta be a bunch of
you gotta
fucking
pay to
weirdos there.
go.
I wonder. It's probably like public skating where you go for $5 and you can buy the pass to the spanking club.
This is disconcerting.
I think what happens is, when you're taking a picture on a vacation and you put your head through the thing and your hands through the thing.
Yeah.
And then it shows like someone else. I think you put your head like sort of through one of those like guillotine-y situations, and then someone comes up and does like a row of spanking, like psh, 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 psh.
Yeah. Like I don't like how
He insisted it wasn't cheating. So that's
yeah, well, it doesn't sound like it's cheating, so that's what I'm wondering about. Like what exactly? And it's in New York City, so it's.
They want to do undercover for the spanking club and just say I only do spanking. I don't want to get spanked.
Yeah, I'll go to a spanking club.
Well, after he was done telling me, I actually felt bad. So this guy pulled a switcheroo on her. I wish he had felt comfortable enough to tell me about it. I would have been open to trying it out. So he got her. But when I offered to come to the club with him, he told me he didn't want me to.
Okay.
And then he wouldn't enjoy it if I was there.
So I figured this out. This isn't like spanking as in like cranking it. It's like spanking.
Are you mental?
I thought this was cranking it. I was thinking spanking like cranking
The
it.
fuck?
I thought they were all jacking off.
Why do you think I kept saying doon, 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 psh?
I'm retarded. I don't know.
You thought it was a jacking off
I
club?
thought everybody was going to spank it. It's literally what I thought.
Why would Daily Mail be calling it spanking club?
I don't know. I thought they just fucking are hip, They're fucking hip to the lingo. And then I was like, I literally go, surely this is like to go jerk off. They wouldn't call it a spanking.
You
club.
thought this was kind of like the guy who suns his ass and a bunch of guys come together and jack it together.
Didn't think my brain was able to comprehend that a bunch of people just wanted to just go spank each other.
You're like, you're like, if this was me, obviously we'd be jacking off together. A bunch of guys holding hands.
We'd all be jacking off together. Yeah. But this is they have the spanking.
You accidentally jack off someone else's dick and you go, oh, so my bad. Yeah.
They have the spanking club of New York. It's just they just all.
Dude, if I ever met a girl and she said she was part of the you were looking in her fucking drawer and you see you might grab that from my drawer. The remote's in there.
Okay.
Spanking club membership.
Here's the very important. Please read our Spanking Club of New York protocols listed below. Recommended play old-fashioned, platonic, traditional, institutional. So they're just spanking each other. It says wearing a thong.
Danny's mind's blown, eh?
Wearing a thong is recommended. Even
And
for
a guy in a thong.
Guys in thongs.
Well, they got to get ass cheek access.
Open play, public play is fine, but thongs on
It'd be a
all
full moon if
bottoms
Danny went to the spanking club.
are required. Appropriate implements: hands, paddle, hairbrush, strap, wooden spoon, cane, tossy, a birch. That's like a switch.
So it's sort of like a Mr. Peanut situation where the guy's got the cane and the top hat and he spins it around and then slaps you with it.
Appropriate dress on the dressy side of
Like
casual.
Macron's wife does to him.
No t-shirts, sweatpants, hats, and anything too casual.
It's a formal attire, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you allowed to wear pants where you cut the ass cheeks out?
So it says right here: no latex, PVC, diapers, BDSM, black leather, or cross-dressing.
Showing up to the spanking club in a didiper.
No whips.
Just like, ha-ha!
No whips.
You can't get me.
Yeah. No whips, cat o' nine tails.
I think
or
that's because it's
floggers.
racist, yeah.
No overly obvious collars, leashes, ropes, or bondage. So some dudes are probably go fucking hardcore.
No obvious
Show up
collars?
with their double whips and they go, come on.
Imagine you see this, the guy with the paddle, and he's got his paddle there, and in his other hand, he's got the paddle where he's practicing, and he goes with the ball on it.
Yeah.
You just see the guy in the corner getting practicing there. That's how he warms up.
It says if someone is clearly a bottom, please do not ask them to spank you. This is weird that you're like, if you do the spanking, you're a top.
So you go and you're just like, now you do me. He goes, tops the sign.
Yeah.
Do not ask the spankies to be the spankers.
You ever see that guy on?
We're only going to give you one more warning.
You ever see that guy on Instagram who has the giant hands? He's just got like the biggest hands.
No.
Like this dude from the he has like some people probably know. He has like these massive hands. Like
Okay.
that dude shows up. He's just the ultimate top. Just like fucking has to like lift his arm. Oh my God, he's here. There's a unicorn here right now.
A unicorn.
Heard he could spank 4 women at once.
Guy goes flying out the window.
I'm retarded. I literally thought they were all just jacking
That
off.
is
And I was
mental.
like, how are women doing it? But this makes more sense.
But the funny part is she asked to go to the spanking club with him, and he was like, yeah, but for sure.
Kind of ruined the fun.
She was like, she was very progressive, New York accepting. She's
Yeah.
like, that's fine. If you have a fetish, I'll come to the spanking club. He was like, yeah, I can't have you see what I do there.
Oh man, you'll never. Well, especially if she goes, can I see your ass right now?
You know what's
by
funny?
chance?"
He has to go to the spanking club with her and pretend that he's a top. He's like, I'm the one doing the
Yeah,
spanking.
yeah,
clubs."
I didn't know
and then he
gay
comes
shit.
in, they're like, Billy the Bottom. I'm like, okay.
Bada
I shoot on the top and got my hand. I've got my hand ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill. I bet you do. We got your spot over by the cat and nighttails.
You want the ball gag this time or what? I know you said you can't handle the pain, so.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, shut up. My wife's here. Fucking freaks.
She wasn't happy. I feel hurt and rejected that he doesn't want me to join. Good. That's the marital problems they're having. My husband won't let me come to his spanking club.
Sure. Maybe he's just like, I don't want to watch my wife get spanked by another man.
That's what I think he's thinking. He's
yeah. He goes, I respect you too much.
like,
I have too much respect for you to spank you.
do you think there's anyone that wears rollerblades at the spanking club so they can come and spank all the asses?
Yeah,
right?
just like
they two-handed down the center. Goddamn, patreon.com/theboyscast. We have a whole bunch more to talk about. The Patreons have been lit lately. 100 away from our next Bugman versus Bugman.
Get in there.
Get in there. We'll see you over there. Peace.